Someone has the podcast open.
That's not me.
All right. Is that you, Gabe?
No, there's someone's got their microphone on. There, that one. Can you turn your volume all the way down?
On your phone? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on.
No, I can hear it on
Let
there.
me see. Hold on.
It's muted.
Let me make sure it's not mine.
I mean, what? Yeah, it's not playing now. It's good.
Somebody got it. We're
Yeah,
good.
someone's speaker's on for sure.
Yeah, mine's is off.
Mine's not on either.
All right. Sounds
Does that have sound?
No, it sounds off.
Okay. Oh, we're good. All right. If we're done sharing, put the phone. We should be ready to go. Let's do it. We'll do a trailer first, Gabe? Yeah, sure. All right, let's do it.
Man. Oh, we ain't got our drinks on the table? Okay.
Oh, you can't buy a table. I just gonna
As
finish
long as
mine.
we ain't lying, let me.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna drink it if I put it on the floor.
I have several things I need to talk to you about. I'm like serious.
What's up?
One, my husband. I can't find him. He does not calling. Y'all family, y'all gotta know something.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Me and Q's relationship is not like the relationship that he got with him and Marcus.
Marcus. Marcus came out of nowhere. Like, who is Marcus? He wasn't even at my wedding.
Well, Mark, that's how he is. Marcus don't come around until he has something on you. He holds it over your head until you get what he wants.
Are you serious? You up the gun on me? I'm just trying to see him be nice to you. But no, you can't accept that.
Preacher, why is you out here being weird to the family?
Man.
You out here running around with this bald head, ratchet, queenie.
You know, it's not a problem, but when Q comes back around, you, Marcus, and Q, I'm gonna make sure I get all three of y'all out of my business. But matter of fact, Q will be back around soon, and on that note, stay the hell out of my damn business. I'm gonna leave on that one, you know what I'm saying? Stay out of my business, sis.
You know the difference between me and you? Had Q called me talking like that, I would have stopped everything I was doing and got there ASAP.
Bro, you live way in the mill. You couldn't have got her fast enough. There's no way you could have got her fast enough to save our brother.
That don't matter. It would have got done.
Marcus, you carry the weight of this world and this family on your shoulders.
I can't even do anything with it. I can't even show it. What am I supposed to do with this? I'm tired. I am tired of this. I don't want to live like this anymore.
I tell you what, man. It's people like you, man, that really piss me off. Put your blood all on me. Well,
It's next time they want this. So you know how to get down. So that should be easy for you to move around.
All right, thank you again for tuning in to the Black and Rich Podcast with your host, Rich Berkley. I'm here this week with Dwayne, Michael, and Shamika, and the little one here is Malia. You just saw Dwayne's movie that's coming out. He's very excited about. We'll talk about. But before we start that, Dwayne, tell me, how does someone get from East St. Louis to doing film and music and all this in Minneapolis?
I say perseverance. You know what I'm saying? Coming from where I come from, it's a lot of stuff against you down there. You know what I mean? And just persevering and linking up with the right people to make all this happen.
Yeah.
You know, so
how'd you get? Did you like grow up in East St. Louis and move to Minneapolis when you were an adult, or how'd you get?
Yeah, I grew up in East St. Louis. I was there till about like 15. Then moved to Springfield, Illinois. Then from there we came here, and we got here. Been here ever since.
All right.
So the music and everything then started taking off until probably around, I think I was around like what, 23, 24. But I recorded my first demo at 17.
Okay.
But the films and everything didn't start happening till about like a couple of years ago, 3 years ago.
So is that what you always knew you were gonna do, or how'd you get into the space?
I would say basically, to me, the music was pushed me into the personal space, because everything that I experience and everything I go through, it's like I use it as a tool to heal from it, a tool to tell my story. You know, if somebody said I was wrong about something, or if someone said that, you know, I did them wrong, or anything in that effect, I would always, you know, take it as a tool to write a song about it or make a video about it. You know, tell my story, tell my truth about it, you know, and that pretty much segued into doing the videos that I've done recently, like with Sharmika, and the videos that I, you know, finna do with Mike, and, you know, so all the personal things that I've endured set all of this up pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I hear a lot of people, you know, they want to get into music. You know, I'm a rapper, I'm this, I'm trying to get into music. You know, a lot of people want to do films. You know, what do you think? How were you able to keep going? You know, a lot of people do it for a year or two, it doesn't work out, and they move on to something else. What do you think was the difference for you?
I keep my foot on the gas. You know, literally, it's like, I've been an underdog in the city for a minute now. I know that for a fact. And it's like working with everybody here in the city. You know, I tried to keep the best relationships I could, and, you know, keep, you know, an open mind about what I do, how I do it, and put out the best music possible. But in the interim of that, with making music to get to this point, it was hard to get to this point with that, because of the fact that I used a lot of my personal experiences and personal things that I went through to write all the songs that has happened. You know what I mean? Like you just played our trailer, right? And 80% of that, me and Sharmika's we're like reliving it. You know what I'm saying? We're redoing, you know, some of the stuff that's happened to me, and certain things that happened in her life, what have you. We're bringing it to life to show people how she dealt with it, how I dealt with it. You know what I mean? And it just pretty much kind of like connected itself. My music connected to my personal life, and then when I met her, it connected to her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah. So how did you and Shamika meet originally then?
I met her daughter first.
Okay.
And her daughter, I got to shout out to Kiki. She's a very good kid. She, you know, I wasn't looking for nobody to work with, because I was in the middle of recording an album, and she had showed me her mother's work. And, you know, I'm a man, so I was like, that's your mom? You know what I'm saying? So I was blown away. Don't get me wrong, I was blown away. But at the same time, you know, when she sent me her mom's information, I connected with Sharmika on Facebook. And I think we had just one conversation. And I got ready to record this series, so I was going through a breakup. And I got ready to record these 5 videos. And there was a woman that I scheduled to be a lead in the video. And I thought about her at the last minute. I was like, wow, I got to find somebody. So I called her. No, I texted her. And the last thing she said, when and where. I told her, say less. Next minute I know she was getting her clothes ready. She was getting her car, she was getting her bag ready. And when we got together the next day, man, it was like, I just told somebody this. You know, if I had to go back and change how men are connected, I wouldn't change it. Because the work ethic that she possessed to do this is what really got us to this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was no script, no nothing. She came right in, boom, boom, boom. I explained it, and I mean the video is called "We Can Be Anything," and she knocked it out the park.
Yeah. So Shamika, is this kind of the space you've wanted to be in? Or have you always, hey, I want to be an actor, I want to be a performer, or is this something you came into later on?
This is something that I've always done. Starting in high school, I did a lot of dance. I did African dance, ballet. I did some acting and theatrics. And then as I became an adult, I got into the entertainment world a little bit differently. And then I'm like, one way or another, I'm going to be in this world. Yeah. My presence is going to be known. So I found other avenues and outlets to do it, such as modeling and acting, and that's what I've been doing.
Good. And so where are you from, Minnesota originally?
I was born here. I've been primarily raised here. I've lived in California. I've lived in Kansas. I've lived in Texas. So I've kind of lived a little bit all over, but Minnesota ultimately is my home.
Oh, that's great. And then we have Michael here with a little one. So we apologize if there's a little sound here. So Michael, how did you get involved with Dwayne originally?
I met Dwayne about a year ago. I was part of a play over in North Minneapolis. It was a community play called Rise Up Cinderella. In the play, one of our actors that's in our part of our team, she was also in the play with me. And doing that play, her and I were doing a little bit of talking, getting to know each other a little bit more, and just kind of talking about other future projects that we may want to do. And while we were talking, she had told me about Dwayne and everything that they've been a part of and everything that they worked on. And in the midst of talking, I told her that I've done some writing in times past. And ironically, Dwayne needed a writer for the team. So,
yeah.
I mean, like I told her, I did a little bit of writing with nothing major, but I guess she kind of took it like that I was a writer. So.
Oh, he good. He good.
So, the very last night of our play, once it was all said and done, Dwayne came and approached me, and we talked a little bit, had a little small talk. We exchanged numbers. Then the next day, that's when we actually sat down and actually talked.
Yeah.
And, once he presented to me his vision and what it is that the series was going to be about and everything, I was pretty much on board with the writing aspect. But, acting was still something that was my number one thing. Once he said he had a character to, I could also, once he told me that character had opened up for me with the storyline, then, I was really on board then. So,
yeah.
Ever since then, it's just been real good, man, for real.
So is that, it's the same question, is that something you've always been doing or something you've pivoted to kind of later in life?
Later in life. I didn't really start thinking about acting until I was about 24, 25 years old. I'm 30 now. And, I didn't really know how to go about it. I knew I needed some schooling, some type of classes. So I joined this one school called John Casablancas in Bloomington. And that kind of opened up my confidence. I'm kind of a quiet, shy, reserved person. So when people heard that I wanted to act, it was kind of a surprise to everybody. But then once I started taking those classes, and then I started to, kind of put a name out there for myself a little bit, try to get involved with many things, find a personal instructor, acting instructor. And, then COVID hit, that kind of slowed some things up. But then once things started to pick back up again, that's when I really started to focus on it. I never thought I'd be writing, though. Never thought I'd do any of that. But it was, that's the thing about acting, though. It opens up doors that you never knew could open up. So, yeah, here I am.
Looks like Malia might be a showman, too, when she grows up.
I got something planned for her, too. I already got her part of an agency.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
So how does, I'm new to this. I'm a sports guy, so I don't do a lot of art. How does somebody get into acting? You talk about classes. Once you get into the space, how do you, or even film directing, how do you even bust into that industry?
I would say for me, it was being a rap artist. It's like, rapping and writing the songs, the way that you write them, you have to merge into different aspects of delivery and making a song sound good. You're spending hours in the studio. So it's like I had to become other people in certain ways to make the songs feel good. And then getting into acting with models and in my videos, she was the first one that I acted with in my videos. So I kind of was like shoved into it, you know what I mean, on a whim of, you know, extending my video quality. And I'm really glad that I did it, because we would have never got the 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 views of the videos that we've done. You know what I mean? Nobody wouldn't have known about it if we hadn't did that. So it was the rap music that got me into it.
Okay. How about you, Shamika? What kind of busted the door open for you?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
It's something that I just embraced, and I just did.
In high school, you're like, this is what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing. This is me. There ain't no other way.
Yeah.
I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm going to take it full-fledged.
Man, don't take that from her, man. Nah, man, don't take that from her. On the screen, I'm going to say this, man, for all the viewers that are watching. Working with Shamika, man, is great, because she turns this person on, like, that's Shamika, right there. But behind the camera, she called me, and I was, and then I don't mean to interrupt her, but she called me one day. She was like, "Who am I playing in this story?" And I was like, I was trying to hold that away from her for a very long time. I said, "Man, I knew she was gonna ask me that. I knew it." So I told her, and when I told her, I said, "You've already delivered it." She was like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You've already brought the person to life in the story." And when we both knew that, she said, "Enough said, I got it."
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think that nobody had to teach her. What I think is the emotions and the admiration and the passion from relationships and people, it activated those things in her to where she delivered what she didn't deliver for them. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I told the interview the other day, I had to get to know her when we started acting. I couldn't just say, "Oh, I know her, we friends." I had to get to know her do's, her don'ts, her emotions, you know what I'm saying? The on and off switch, you know what I mean? And, you know, so don't let her tell you that. Shamika, she know what she doing. She know what she doing.
I tend
For real, man.
I tend to find with artists, the really good ones are too humble.
That's important, though. Yeah. Being humble is the most important thing in the world. But like he said, I embraced it. I've relived a lot of the character in a lot of different ways. So I just guess that's my way in channeling into my own things and dealing with my own things in life.
Yeah.
And putting it on the camera.
Yeah. So let's talk about, Dwayne, a little bit about the actual company structure. So how did you structure is it LLC, a partnership? How did you structure the business?
I made it a LLC because I wanted to tap into different avenues.
Okay.
I want to make for sure that, you know, before I got into films, I built relationships in Maryland. I built relationships in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, you know what I mean, Houston, Dallas. I made relationships in music that I kept, and I made good with those relationships. So my business partner, RJ Wheat, out of Kentucky, and brother Al out of Atlanta, we decided to gel the company. Like when you look at Rockefeller or whatever, we wanted to be better than that company. Nothing against that company. We wanted to be better than that. So we kept the relationships. We dove outside of music distribution like DistroKid. Nothing against that. But we dove outside of avenues to do something different. So that way we can get the lane in which that complements what we're going to do next. So when you look at the fact of music streaming and music numbers and music buys and all those type of things, you know what I mean? You got to really know how to make those numbers talk. So when somebody else comes in front of you, they can say, okay, well, how did you do this? The numbers complement themselves. So when you look at you going to add movies to it, the movies going to complement the numbers for music because the movies is going to stream it, and everybody on the team wins. So Arj is my business partner, Brother Al's my A&R, and I'm 50% owner of the company. I started the company, but you know we divvied it up. So when we got to the point, and like I said, movies and music, me and her had a conversation, and we, like I said a few days ago, she got some people, I got some people. We became business partners. Don't get me wrong, we fight, we argue. What business partners don't?
We fighting right now.
We fight right now. We gang banging.
Out right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
But what everybody don't get in that fight, we're fighting for the right thing to make this happen. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of trust to trust somebody with your brand. It takes a lot of trust. And to bring music and then actors and models and writers and, and then I'm between different phone calls with my business partner. We're talking about this, we're talking about that. Then she's my business partner, he's my business partner, and so on and so forth. What people don't understand, it takes a lot of humility to step back and say, okay, I'm going to listen to you, even if I'm wrong. Or I'm going to let you lead me when I don't want to write this. Like the next episode coming up, he's writer, director, producer. I don't got nothing to say about that. You feel what I'm saying? So the company and structure is set up to the point to where everybody wins. What Sharmika does for her own personal brand, that has nothing to do with me. But when we come together, it complements her work, my work, because we both are still after the same goal. We're going to bring smoke to the city, and we're going to put on for the city.
Definitely. I mean, I think a lot of people, they think conflict is bad. And you can't have a good product without conflict. Like, if you just have yes men around you, you're not going to have a good product.
Exactly.
So, without conflict, you're not going to build anything great.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your new project you guys are working on.
Mm-hmm.
When is that? What's it called again?
Kingdom, the Love and Faith Chronicles.
So that's the trailer we watched.
Yeah, for the series.
So how did that come about? What is that about?
A lot of people, I'm just going to get right to it. Man, for real.
I was like, get to it.
I'm just going to get to it. It's about the truth, man. The ups and what she did in her past life, what I did in mine, what he did in his. We all had a life, man.
It's real
stuff.
stuff.
So to write these stories, you know what I mean, and bring it to life, we're trying to show people there is another way of doing anything and another way before you decided that you wanted to accept Jesus Christ. Like when I say this here, and I said it before, what Sharmika believe is not my belief. What he believe, not my belief. But collectively, when we come together, we know exactly the end result is going to be somebody's going to learn from something that we did or something that happened. Mm-hmm. There's 5 storylines going on with this series, and it's the biggest series in Minnesota. Nobody's done this. Nobody in Minnesota has done what we are doing. Nobody. I can say that with enough confidence. I've done the research. Nothing against no actor, writer, producer, company, team in Minnesota, but nobody's done what we did or what we about to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's about faith, love, trust. You know what I'm saying? Like Sharmika's character has a hard time trusting my character, but we make it look real.
Yeah.
You can ask her that.
But that's me in real life.
Yeah.
So I can relate to my character and what he wrote because that's me in real life. I have trust issues. I have a hard time trusting people. I just can't allow you into my circle and into my personal life. So when he put that into my character, it was easy for me to say, okay, I could do this. I could be her.
Yeah. So all 3 of you have a storyline in there?
Mm-hmm.
So Michael, is it hard to be that vulnerable? Like to have that out there? Like I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could have my story and be acted in it. Like I would have to change names or something.
My character isn't necessarily me.
Okay.
Some things, but not all things. But it fits the storyline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, when you're an actor, whether it fits you or not, you're an actor. You got to get into the character and become that character and be that person.
Yeah.
And make it look real. That's all about acting is all about. You know, but for us in this project, a lot of these characters are actual people's storylines.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's easy for them to tap into that character. You know, so that's the beauty of us and what makes us different than the rest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about you, Dwayne? Is it hard putting yourself out there like that?
No, not really.
Stop lying. You are lying.
No, honestly, I have to call Sharmika. When it's time to film, I have to call her.
Yeah.
To get my adrenaline going, because I know I'm about to see her in a different element.
Yeah.
So we have to give each other smoke, and we talk smack, and you know what I mean? And by the time I get in front of them, I'm like, okay, I'm ready now.
I can't honestly say that was one of Dwayne's biggest concerns in the story, putting the storyline out there.
Yeah.
Is how are you gonna do? How is your mental gonna be? How is your emotional
concerned
gonna be?
about
How are
that,
you gonna
bro,
be?
really.
How are you gonna recover
You're
from
living
this?
some stuff you don't want to live.
But you know what? That's all a part of healing too.
Yeah.
So and getting past those trust issues. So allowing myself to be vulnerable in that moment, relive those emotions, and go back and get in character. Like I told him, if this is what I have to do to put this character in mode and on play, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
It's real. It's not fake. I'm reliving what I went through.
I asked her that too, bro, like many millions of times. And she like, no. I said, are you sure? She said, no.
Wow.
I was like, man, okay.
I'd be like, give me 10 minutes.
I was like,
Give me
okay.
10.
Now,
Y'all better than I am.
Some people that casted for roles, they would say that it hits home for them. They don't want to go through it no more. The emotion, they left it alone. They don't want to do it. But I was like concerned, like, are you sure about this now? She's like, I'm fine. I got it, Dwayne. I said, okay. Cameras came on. She was a completely different person.
Yeah.
She scared me, but we did it, though. We did it, man. And it came out good, though. It came out good. What the world about to see, what the city about to see, 2 years of hard work, we about to really show them what we did.
Yeah. So what's the hardest part, filming along for each of you? Y'all have different roles. I'll start with you, Dwayne. What's the hardest part of getting into a film, promoting a film, getting it out there, even getting 5,000 views? I mean, that's amazing. Like, how were you able to do that? And what struggles did you come across?
It's the work in the business, man. It's a lot of work, bro.
Yeah.
It ain't, if I had to say it, which I am going to say it, it's not like what you think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just did an interview a couple of days ago. The guy asked me, he said, what's the difference between a series, reality TV, and what you're doing? The work that it takes to do what we're doing, it takes the scripts, the actors, the commitment, you know what I mean? Making what we do look real to convince the other person, making them want to put it on their network, whether it's independent, national, international. It takes a lot of work to do that. When you're looking at, and it takes writing a script, getting into the actors, the scheduling. Everybody got lives, everybody got family, life happens, rewrites, all those things play a bigger factor in what we're doing. That's why it took 2 years. Like I told the other guy, we could have dropped this a year ago, but what would good if it would have done us, and we're going after the bigger picture.
And he definitely was not about to do that, not with my face in it. Trash.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people was dismayed, and they would think like that it wasn't going to happen. They thought that all the promotions and everything that we were doing, it was just face value work. But honestly, all those promotion, he was writing. He had just came on the team. Me and her were still working. She had to go through a surgery. It took a lot to do this.
Couple surgeries.
You know what I'm saying? So nothing against what nobody else is doing, but when you look at a series in reality TV, what's the difference? The difference is reality TV come out much quicker. A series takes a lot more work with editing, and you got to make sure her hair is right and his face is right, and you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of attention to detail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to break into this, I would tell anybody, and then I would say this. We spending our own money. From me to the actors, we spending our own money. And I'm not going to tell nobody what that is, what the number looks like, but you can tell. You're not no fool. You know that if she's filming with me for 10 hours a day, she's taking time from her family, he's taking time from his family. We're spending dollars buying clothes, makeup, hair. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of work it takes a lot of work to do this, bro. And it takes somebody, all the actors and actresses. When I tell you we fight. We literally fight. But at the end of the day, bro, it takes somebody with a full-fledged heart commitment to stick this out. And I'm just saying.
Yeah. Michael, what's been your biggest struggles? Just personally. It doesn't have to be about breaking into the industry as a writer, as an actor.
I guess for me, it's just making time, but not really.
On top of that too?
Yeah, when you got other personal things going on, for myself, working a job, being a family man and everything like that, and then also having to set time to make sure that you write and have, your content out in a timely manner, and, working on locations as far as where you want to film at, and it's a lot to take account of outside of your other responsibilities and whatnot. But, other than that, that's probably like the biggest, I guess you can say, the challenge with all of this is going on is just, having a lot on your plate and making sure that everything is in order, everything is on the up and up, and that you are doing everything in a timely fashion.
Yeah. So would you recommend someone who's looking to get in the industry, like, either have another job or have some cash on the side before you get started?
Oh, yeah. When you're an actor or producer or anything like that in this business, you got to spend money to make money. You got to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Whether it's paying for classes You know, 'cause you got to have some type of schooling. You know, for us, whether it's talking to different networks, or even if we have to pay to shoot in a side of location, you got to invest. You got to spend money in order to make money. And so, yeah, of course, with actors and models, it's a hit or miss in this industry. Whether you get a gig or you don't get a gig, you're going to get more no's and you're going to get yeses. So you can't really rely on this to be your main income unless you really, really make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it is something that is a good thing to work on and strive towards to. This is something that you really want to do. But yeah, most definitely, you want to have a different income when it's all said and done. Yeah.
How about you, Shamika? I know this is destiny, but what have been your hurdles you've had to go through?
One of the biggest struggles I have to say is that it's not just us three sitting at the table. We have all different personalities. We have a team.
Mm-hmm.
And like Dwayne said, we argue, we fight, but being able to respect everyone individually, being able to respect everyone's craft and what their brand is and what they're doing, and being able to allow yourself to be vulnerable and trust them and be a part of that family and open up to them, because we work so closely. Like we could damn near sleep next to each other now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that much. But being that open and respecting everyone in a whole, and accepting and receiving that constructive criticism and opinions and honesty, it's not always what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not always what you want to do. But being able to do that in a whole was a struggle, not just for me, but I'm sure for many others on this team.
Yeah.
And then the other parts of that is just, like Michael said, is the time and commitment. Because we do have lives. I'm a grandmother. I'm a nurse. I work. I go to school. So.
I still don't believe that. I want to see proof. I want to see proof of your grandmother.
I can show you proof.
I want to see the generational picture.
I have my own personal, relationships with a lot of the cast members on here, and sometimes those things go neglected, and it's unfair to your family. But they have to look at the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what you're doing it for and your purpose. So those have been big hurdles for me amongst my personal issues and things that I've been dealing with within myself. So,
anything that we got going on, like Shamika said, we all have become a family. You know what I mean? Like, for an example, I got my daughter here. I could pass my daughter out to Shamika and she's just as comfortable with her because she's been around. You know what I mean? So even though we may have,
granny touch.
yeah, exactly. But like at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of the day, no matter what it is, whatever conflicts that we have, at the end of the day, we all have become real like family. Seriously. And what family do you know that don't argue or have some type of conflict? But there's more positives with what's going on than there are negatives. This isn't just Dwayne's project, it's not just my project, it's not just Shamika's project, it's the whole team's project. Everybody's got to say so, everybody's got what it is that they want to chip in, everybody's got a role to play, and it all works out. So that's what makes us great. That's what's going to make us continue to be great.
Love that.
Absolutely.
So how big is a team? How many people would you say is on the team?
Man, and it keeps growing. Seriously, and it keeps growing because
We're
not
talking
only
like 20, 10, 5.
man,
as of right now, it's about 20.
Yeah.
20.
And like he said, we're growing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're
are,
preparing
because it's
for-
more
A lot of people to
cast.
keep track of.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
not just preparing for what we're doing now. We're preparing for the
What's
future
coming later.
too.
Yeah.
So, so we got to get all of our ducks in a row and make sure that everything's up and up.
Yeah. So another thing I just don't understand at all, right? We film it. How do we get it out there? Like, how do we, you talk about different country deals. Like, how do you actually get your film out there?
I knew you were going to ask that question.
Right.
Let me, without getting into our personal information, as I said in the beginning, it took a lot of personal relationship that I had before this in rap music, because I was traveling on my own. So I was paying my way to tour and all those type of things, and people that connected with me with the squad, they kept relationships with me, like Beyond the Fence Entertainment out of Knoxville, Tennessee, Jerry Royce out of Maryland, you know what I'm saying, 3HP out of Maryland, Jehoshaphat out of Connecticut, just to name a few. Those people stayed connected with me. So when we got into the film part of it, when me and Sharmika had the conversation about what we were going to do, it came pretty much on a fly. Like, we were shooting a video, that was supposed to be it. And she was like, look, you down, I'm down. You can get some people, I get some people.
We'll get Shamika's version after.
But no, it came on the fly. It really did. Because my brother blurted out, we're going to do a movie. You know what I'm saying? And Shamika was like, I got some, you know what I'm saying? But the thing of it is, to do the business part of it, it takes a lot of...
connection based. Not
really that. It takes a lot of convincing. You know, out of 6 next word, we got 1 no.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you're going to get the no's. But... The person that said no, which I can't say no name, said no for certain reasons. But everybody else that said yes, they saw what they do. You know what I mean? And
I can never please everybody.
No, you really can't. But I can tell you honestly, they hit hard when the cameras come on.
Yeah.
Nobody on this team is waiting for somebody to say, "Well, I can help you." Nah, they making that lane. It's like you fighting through traffic. So with the network BGTV on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? Reality TV in Dallas, All Nation TV in Texas.
So you're gonna be on like cable channels.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I covered every avenue because I want people to see this. I know one thing about TV. Regardless of YouTube or anything else, the one thing about TV, somebody or somebodies watch that 24 hours a day. So that lets me know that somebody or somebody's gonna see this, and somebody or somebody's gonna talk to somebody else. It reaches way beyond music. The music is gonna complement it because it's gonna make a lane for the artists, the models, and everybody that's involved. It's not hard to do that, but you can't do the business part of it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
There's no way possible. If somebody said, well, I can connect with this network tomorrow, you can't do that. There's contracts and litigations and things that come into play. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say what I'm doing for our team, but I can say it took a year to put all this in place. We're ready now.
Wow.
So like I told everybody else, and I'm saying this publicly, we about to kick the door down. Now you can hear Shamika's verse.
Well, we don't got a lot of time, so I'll move on a little bit here.
That's not what happened, though.
Let's just get a quick rundown. What's Shamika? How was your version?
It was a video.
It was a video?
And then all of a sudden, all I know is it's a movie. It's a film. Oh, what? Wait, what happened? How did this happen?
So it was on the fly for Dwayne.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next thing I know was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm like, you're lying.
Yeah.
She did do that.
All the time and commitment that I put in, and then the people that I brought along, I'm the casting director. I handpick each character. Because I know those people were able to play those characters. It fit them, their personalities, and who they were. You're not going to do that to them. This is just not your baby anymore. You didn't just birth this thing. We are all the parent of this baby, and we all have to nurture and take care of this baby. You don't get to take that away.
Yeah.
Are we finna fight? And I mean
that's what she said.
Yeah,
she
okay.
did say
Okay.
that. She did.
Well, good. I always want to just talk about community. You know, that's big for me, especially Black and Rich Podcast. We're trying to breathe in the Black community. So are there organizations, is there work you guys are doing in the community? Obviously with the film, getting that message out there. But is there anything else you guys have been doing?
Well, right now, the only thing that we have a target on right now that's complementing what everybody's doing is the fact that we're doing a lot of promo, street promo for the film. But the biggest thing about it, and I have to say this, if anybody watches the film, the series, they're going to get the message out of it based on the storylines that are involved. So it's going to reach the community based on what we've written about.
So you're using your art kind of as a teaching tool.
What she's experienced, what he's experienced, what I've experienced, they're going to get the message. It's clear. We didn't write it where you couldn't see it. We want somebody. We want the homeless person. We want the battered and abused woman. We want the woman that's being abused in the pulpit. We want the person that's on drugs. We want the woman that's dealing with trust issue. We want everybody to watch this some way, somehow. With the way this is set up, they can even watch it on their phone. They can download Pulpit TV and watch Kingdom on their phone. You know what I'm saying? But I can honestly tell you that once we do reach out to the community or what have you, which that's not far from what we're doing. You know, you got a model, you got a writer and actor, so we're always dealing with people at face value. So the message that's in this series is gonna reach the community before we even get out there.
Oh, I love it. I mean, for me, community work doesn't always look the same.
It really doesn't.
Community work isn't always just doing work, just going on the ground and doing something. You know, we need people who are on the ground. We need people who are getting messages. You know, we all know how media affects people, right? The stuff we see on TV, that's going to affect how people think. So I love that you're using your talents in a different way to influence community. But we have a few questions. Let's see what we have on there. We have, what do you find to be the hardest part of the process?
Ooh.
Is it at the very beginning when you're getting the story together, or more when you're filming? What would you say?
I would say the writing part of it, because we have to be creative to keep the story going.
Yeah.
What do you
It'd
think?
be different for everybody.
What
So
do you
that's
think?
writing. Well, how about you, Michael? What do you think writing as well?
Well, for me, it was the writing part of it because
You're the writer, right?
when I came into it, I didn't know anybody. You
Okay.
know? To be honest with you, I didn't know anybody. So to write some lines for people who I didn't know was kind of a challenge at first.
Mm-hmm.
So what I had to do was when they were filming, you know, I came to the film dates and I just kind of watched, observed, and kind of slowly got to know everybody and whatnot. And as I was getting to know everybody more and more, writing became easier. On top of how he already put to me how the storyline was with the characters and everything like that. But because, you know, like we had stated before, that some of these storylines and characters are real life situations for some of our, or a lot of our cast members, you know, it was imperative for me to actually know them and understand them.
Yeah.
And once I got comfortable with that, then it became easier.
How about you, Shamika? What was the hardest part of the process for you?
For me, it's keeping the cast and the characters.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not a writer. I'm never going to write it. I'll tell you it, you can write it, but no. But keeping the cast members and building their characters, that's not easy, because you can write anything for a person and they can read it, but can they convert and be that person?
Doesn't sound right. Yeah, like,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So-
Makes sense.
A lot of sense.
That helping shape and mold the characters and the cast members into their characters is the hardest part.
Yeah.
And keeping the consistency for me.
I can agree with that because she created her character, like, from the ground up. So can nobody ever say down the road that, well, I was the first to do it? No, she was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can agree with that. I agree with that.
Everybody on this cast literally is and owns their character.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
So next question is best on-set moment or hardest or worst? Do we have one moment that sticks out for each of you?
Well, for me, I'm gonna be honest.
Without getting in a fight.
No, we ain't getting a fight. We ain't getting a fight. I would say doing me and Sharmika's first love scene. That was hard for me
Okay.
because I was like, when we was doing it, I was nervous as heck, and she didn't know it. So I'm trying to bring the comedy into me to be comfortable to do it, but it's like I know her, so let me just do it. So doing it, and when we got into it, it was hard for me. It wasn't the worst, but that was the hardest one for me.
I'm gonna go for Shamika next. How about you?
I'm gonna second that because he didn't think I knew he was nervous, but I definitely did. He kind of was getting on my nerves because I was like, just relax and be you. Like, this isn't even really happening, you know?
Yeah.
And it was easy to shoot, but yeah.
So we might wait a little bit.
He heard her feelings. He heard her feelings.
I really don't have to answer that.
You're more writer, right? You don't really.
Well, no, I would say his worst is when he had to improv with Sharmika and she got him. Yeah, that was the worst.
When I first joined the team, you know, it was different for me because every time I've done anything, I auditioned for, I either had, you know, either a monologue set or we had a cold read. But when I got with them, they're like, yeah, we're going to improv and see how you just do and see if you, you know, work on the fly. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know, so improv is good with acting, but it was just different for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I had to jump into a character who I didn't know anything about and then go against somebody who I know nothing about. And, you know,
but he did it, though.
Brought it, though. You know, you could tell she had experience.
Yeah.
And so it really had to... thought I was a really good, pretty decent actor. Till I got with her, and I was like, I got some work to do.
You might need to hand the baby back to Shamika.
You done hurt her feelings, bro.
Shamika had it on point.
He did.
Yeah. So I would say that, but other than that, that's about it.
Yeah. I would say what influenced us was when I got this project. She gonna be fine.
Yeah. Just wait a second there. There we go.
See, you hurt her feelings. She brought
yeah, so why is such a big project? And I mean, I assume a lot of people are saying, why are you doing this? This is too big. What do you do with that?
I mean, man, to do this, it came with a lot of struggle, a lot of disbelief. A lot of people didn't think that it was going to happen. A lot of people didn't think we was going to debut. A lot of people thought that it was a lie. A lot of people thought that what they saw on social media.
Wait a second, probably can't hear.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
You hurt her feelings, bro. That's what he did. He hurt her feelings.
Like, why don't you take her out for a second? We'll finish up.
Okay.
Best part about being live, you never know what's gonna happen.
Look at that. She loved daddy. No,
we gotta talk her. Look out for her in the future.
No, to answer that question, man, I think.
Yeah, let me repeat the question in case people didn't hear it. So, why did you take on such a big project? And how do you deal with people who are haters, who are saying, "Why are you doing this? This is dumb."
Well, there's some controversy going on right now. I'm just going to use that to go off of it. A lot of people can speculate things about what they see and what they don't know. But, when you look at the fact of how two people work together, you would assume, well, they did this and they did that, and not know behind the closed doors we're really working to get something done. To take this project on, like I said, to agree with Sharmika, we didn't foresee that it was going. You know what I'm saying? We didn't foresee that it was going this far. We didn't look at it like this. You know what I'm saying? But when it happened, we did the photo shoot and the cast started growing. You know what I'm saying? We started seeing it before it happened. So we started seeing that the disbelief and the comments. We just never spoke on it. Yeah. The team has been quiet for 2 years? Team been quiet for 2 years. So now that's why I can say that now. You know what I'm saying? They're not about to be quiet no more. So it wasn't the fact of taking it on. It's the fact that we're trying to do something great, but we knew what was coming behind it.
Yeah.
Sharmika saw it. Mike saw it. You know what I mean? I can't speak for them, but they saw it. You know what I'm saying?
I think to answer this question, what it took was us to stay, to not get discouraged as a team. And we did a lot of talking among each other. And we kept each other uplifted. And because when we have disbelievers and people that are haters that are trying to knock you down from every different angle, it's discouraging, and you can want to give up quickly, but you can't listen to that. You're going to have that. You see all the magazines, the People magazines, talking about all them stars, and they really made it. Mm-hmm. We going to make it.
Yeah.
So go keep talking. I want to give you everything to talk about. I'll serve it to you on a silver gold platter. Talk. Just don't put your hands on it.
That's real talk right there.
Oh, you, Michael?
I mean, I feel as if you're not really doing anything right. You ain't got nobody talking about you and about what you're doing. To be honest with you, I mean, yeah, we're going to have some doubters and people who aren't going to believe in what we're doing or think that it's going to come into fruition. But, I mean, think it for as all I can care. That's fine. I expect that, like I say, anytime that you're doing something, that is right, anytime you're doing something that is of Christ, you're going to have people who's going to have a lot to say about it. And that's okay. That just comes with it. That just comes with it.
Good. Do you have any more questions?
Look like, guess that. Uh-oh.
So, I know we talked about the series, so we have...
Ooh.
Let's go. How are you finding ways to monetize? So we talked about the deals.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we actually... how do we make money off of this?
Good question. Well, I can't get into the contracts or the bag, but the formula to it make it very simple. Very, very simple. We got independent artists and actors and models on this team. If you go through YouTube to put this out, then you're going off the numbers and speculating what people to watch. And you're wishing and you're praying on a prayer for them to watch it, for it to go past the strings per month. It's for you to get a residual income. The route that I took was putting it in people's homes, bypassing YouTube, for the fact I want them to watch it. I want them to become a fan, become a viewer. So the next time around, when we get you even bigger, you can't do nothing but watch, and the residual income is gonna come regardless of that. YouTube is a platform to get you off the ground. I don't need YouTube to get us off the ground. The actors and actresses doing it themselves. So I believe in what they're doing. So this is going to happen on their dime and mine, not somebody else's.
Love it. Love it. Any last questions? Oh, looks like that's it.
Look, they didn't want to know nothing else.
We've covered a lot. Well, thank you.
Oh, there go one.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're doing the. They didn't listen close enough. It's a series.
It's a series. We're doing it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we make it to the major screen and it'll be a major film.
Facts. I'm with that.
We're not going to just stop here. We're going to follow the path that God has created for us, and we're going to do what is planned for us.
Well, thank you, Dwayne, Michael, Shamika, for coming on.
Thank you.
I look forward to watching. I hope we can make it to the release party coming up.
I hope you come too.
It just depends on the tournament schedule. Hopefully it works out.
Right. It'll work out. You'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Thank you, everybody, for watching again the Black and Rich Podcast. I wanted this episode to show, again, how diverse we can be in our population. Actor, producer, writer. There's so much more that we can do. And I want people to see that it's not easy. It's really a commitment to get into it. And it's probably not something you want to get into just as a full-time job right away. Something you got to build up to. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you see you at the next one. Have a great night. Thank you.